Hello students, now in this lecture we will learn about finding y parameter, h parameter and ABCD parameter for a given network. Now we have considered the same network that we had solved z parameters for in the earlier lecture. So let's see how to obtain y parameter, h parameter and ABCD parameters if asked in the examination. So the method that we will use in this case again will be the method of applying KVL. So before we start applying KVL, we know that we need to assign loop currents to the loops in the given circuit. So we will assign loop currents. So the circuit after assigning loop currents can be seen as this. This is the same thing that we have done already while finding out the z parameters. So look at this. I1 is a loop current assigned for loop number 1, I2 is shown as a loop current for loop number 2 and I3 is shown as a loop current for loop number 3. So now we will start applying KVL. So look at this. If we apply KVL to loop number 1, what we get is we get V1 is equal to 3I1 minus 2I3, which can be named as equation A. Now if I apply KVL to loop number 2, we get V2 minus twice of I3 twice of I2 plus I3, and this is the same thing that was done already while finding out the z parameters. So if you look at the procedure, then the things which we already have done are same that we did till finding out the equation D and equation E. So you have to repeat the procedure of finding out z parameters till equation D and equation E to proceed for finding out y parameters by using KVL. So once you get equations D and equation E, what can be done is, look at this, you have to write the equations D and E in matrix form, so that, look at this, it is written in the matrix form. Now if I apply Cramer's rule to this matrix equation, what I can get is, I can get I1 in this form. So I can get I1 as a division of two determinants. The determinant in the numerator can be referred to as delta 1 and the determinant in denominator can be referred to as delta. We know already all these things of applying Cramer's rule. So once we solve this, what I get is, I get I1 in terms of V1 and V2. Let's name this equation as equation F. Similarly, by applying Cramer's rule, I can get I2 in terms of V1 and V2 in this fashion, which can be named as equation G. And we know if I1 is given in terms of V1 and V2, then the terms 3 by 5 will represent Y11 and the term minus 2 by 5 will represent Y12. Similarly, if I2 is represented in terms of V1 and V2, then minus 2 by 5 will be Y21 and 11 by 10 will be Y22. So it is how we have found out the y parameters for a given network. Similarly, we will go for finding out h parameters and transmission parameters for the given network. So we will go ahead, look at this, the same circuit and the same methodology till we obtain equation D and E is carried out over here. And then in this case we will not be, we do not get anything by applying Cramer's rule. We have to rewrite the equations for to get the h parameters. So what I have done over here is, look at this, what I do is, I write the equation E, I rewrite the equation E so that I get I2, in terms of I1 and V2. Now let's name this equation as F, and then I will substitute this equation F. I mean to say, I will substitute the value of I2 in terms of I1 and V2 in equation D. In equation D, so that I get this equation, and ultimately what I get is V1 in terms of I1 and V2. This is what we exactly wanted to find out H parameters. So look at this. In this case, V1 is getting represented in terms of I1 and V2. It means that 5 by 3 must be representing H11, 2 by 3 must be representing H12. Here I am representing I2 in terms of I1 and V2. It means that minus 2 by 3 must be representing H21 and 5 by 6 must be representing H22, so that I get all the values of H parameters. Now we will similarly obtain the transmission parameters or ABCD parameters. Look at this. What I did again is I wrote equation E, which was obtained earlier, in this fashion. I rewrote the equation so that I get I1 in terms of V2 and I2, and then I substituted this equation F in equation D obtained earlier. So that is why I got V1 in terms of V2 and I2. If we compare equations F and G with the ABCD parameters equation, which are V1 is equal to AV2 minus BI2 and I1 is equal to CV2 minus DI2. In that case, this is what is representing V1 is equal to AV2 minus BI2. So 11 by 4 must be the value of A, 5 by 2 must be the value of B. Similarly, I1 when is represented in terms of V2 and I2, 5 by 4 must be the value of C, and minus 3 by 2 must be the value of D. Thank you. I hope you understood how to find out all the 4 parameters for a given network: Z parameter, Y parameter, H parameter and ABCD parameter. Thank you.